Yo, what's up, everybody? In this video, we're going to look at the Sunday slate. So, yesterday was a good day for both slates, made out in double ups on both of them. On the early slate, even with a -8 from Suarez, we got 2 home runs from Wilson Ramos. And with Piscotty scratched, I tweeted out to go with Laureano, and he put up 17. And Corbin went the distance, so that helped. So, it made out in that, put up like a 128 on the early, and then the main slate. Even with David Price getting sick, made out in double ups because a lot of people had Kyle Freeland. He was like 35% owned and he blew up. So even though Price got sick 3 batters in, right now we're cashing in that and we should cash. As you see, it's 12-13 on my phone. The games are about over as long as we might get some more points from like the Rockies last at-bats and some of the Orioles last at-bats. But we got Nunez was the key. He was only 5% owned in my double up and had him in the video and he crushed it again. So he's been on fire. But anyway, let's get on to this slate. So let's keep it rolling today. You can like and subscribe down below, and you can hit the website if you want to join for baseball. All right, so today we have another really good spot in cores for the Rockies against David Hesse. They have a 7.7 implied total. That is one of the highest I've ever seen, even in cores. Like, that is ridiculously high. Hesse is just not a good pitcher. A 6.75 ERA. He's gotten blown up a bunch of times this season. He's given up 17 home runs in 45 innings. Like, are you kidding me? He's going to get destroyed by these Rockies hitters, and as will that bullpen, which is not good at all. So I feel bad for Hesse. And then we have the Twins once again. Their lineup is absolutely crushing, and they get a matchup against Dylan Covey, who has 7 strikeouts in 20 innings. That is embarrassing. Not to mention that the Twins strike out like the lowest amount in the league. And for a guy to be this bad at getting strikeouts, it's going to be a long night for him. He has a 16-7 walk to strikeout ratio. He should not be in the league with these numbers. I mean, I don't know how he hasn't gotten like destroyed in every start, but he has been bad in pretty much every start. When you don't strike people out, you just give up a lot of hard contact, and you're just going to get lucky. And with these bats, and with the way the Twins bats are hitting, like they could put up another 10 plus spot on him. So those are the top 2 stacks by far. So we're gonna have to go cheap at pitching today, and I don't really mind it because at the top you have like one. You don't have like anybody that really sticks out. Like Verlander's obviously sticks out, but he's facing the Red Sox, so it's a tough matchup there. Like you can easily fade him given the matchup. And then like Paddock's over 10,000. I think it's a fine play, but I'm gonna go pay up for bats. Like we definitely want to pay up for the Rocky bats in cash games at least. And so to do that, we're going to have to go down at pitching. The first guy I like is going to be Marcus Stroman at 7,400. So the Padres only have like a 4-run in total. And Stroman has been pretty good this season, 2.81 ERA. He was bad for a couple starts, but those were against 2 teams that don't really strike out in the Angels and the Twins. And he only had 5 strikeouts combined in those games. But overall, he's been a pretty solid pitcher this season. And this year, he's been a lot better with the strikeouts. So he's still getting a ton of ground balls, but he is getting a lot more Ks as well. And he still doesn't give up that many home runs, only 4 home runs given up in 64 innings. And at home, he's been good. So I feel like it's a good spot for Stroman, especially with all the righties on the Padres lineup. They have like 6 or 7 righties in the lineup. So Stroman should have another good game, and he does have upside in the high 20s. And besides Stroman, I'm going to go with Brandon Woodruff at 6,600. So Woodruff's been really, really good this season. If you just look at his average, 14.9 points per game, that doesn't really add up. That makes no sense when you look at his game logs and you see a bunch of 20s. But that's because all these zeros in here, they count against his average. Like, I don't know why DraftKings has 3 zeros in here for starts that he didn't do. But if you take those zeros out, his average is going to be over 20 DraftKings points. He's been really, really good as of late. He has a ton of strikeout upside with 65 and 56 innings. And the Phillies strike out an absolute ton with Hoskins and Harper. Really striking out a bunch, especially Harper. So I feel like it's a really good spot for Woodruff here against the Phillies lineup that, like I just said, they strike out a bunch, and he has upside in the high 20s and low 30s. And he did put up 24 against this Phillies team a little bit ago. So he has the ability to have success in this matchup. So I like Woodruff. And, if somehow the weather in Pittsburgh clears up, I think Chris Archer, if the weather is going to clear up, He makes sense for as a GPP play. Like I never thought that I would see the day as he would be $6,300. He hasn't been pitching good, and the Dodgers have a really scary lineup. But man, that is definitely a really cheap price tag on Archer. And we know that he has upside. If he has a good game where he's on, he can have like 7, 8, 9 strikeouts. But I think that game is going to get postponed, so that's why. And I think Woodruff is safer, so I'll go with him. But I was thinking about going Woodruff and Archer. That would really make it so easy to stack up, like get any hitter you want. But I guess Stroman and Woodruff will have to do. All right, so going on third base, like Arenado, anything else, like don't have to say much about him. He's just been on fire. He has now 3 home runs in his last 2 games. He's hitting .333 on the season. He should go up to like .333 after his numbers go in for today. He doesn't strike out that much at all. Hesse has been terrible to both sides of the plate. We'll look at the numbers for David Hesse. I don't want to buy StubHub tickets. But yeah, Hesse with this 7.7 total, like you want to get as many Rockies as you can. Like it's definitely, I think, a spot where you want to pay up for hitting instead of paying up for pitching. And yeah, so we'll just look at Hesse's numbers. I'm pretty sure he's bad to both sides. Yeah, he's been a lot worse to righties, which is good for Arenado this season. 686 slugging, giving up 2 righties. And for his career, he's been bad to both sides. But righties have a higher average against him, but the power numbers are pretty much the same. So I like Arenado a lot at 5,700. And then shortstop, going to go with his teammate, Trevor Story. So these are the best 2 hitters on the Rockies. As long as Charlie Blackmon is out of the lineup, these are the best 2 hitters, hands down. Both have an insane amount of power. Both hit the ball really well in cores. And Story is another guy that has been heating up as of late. He has a ton of power upside. And he has speed as well with 8 stolen bases. So I like Trevor Story a lot. I know he hits the ball really well at home. He's better against lefties, but when you get a guy like David Hesse, it doesn't really matter. So yeah, he's given up. Actually, he's 290 average against lefties, 266 against righties this season. But he has 11 home runs against righties, and that gives him like a 281 ISO. So he has a lot more power against righties this season. So that's surprising, but I'll take it against David Hesse. And at home, he's hitting an insane .313. Well, it's not insane, but he's hitting .313, much better than his numbers on the road. So I like Trevor Story a bunch here at 5,600. And then in the outfield, like I said, I love the Twins a lot. Like, yeah, Max Kepler is really expensive at 5,200, but he's worth it. And then you have Eddie Rosario too. Like, both guys are in play. If you can only afford one of them, I'd rather pay a little more for Rosario, just only $200 more. But Rosario is known to be a better hitter than Kepler, and he has a ton of power. With the Twins are also no joke on the slate. They have like a 6.6 total against Dylan Covey, and their lineup is just insane. It's stacked. 8, 16, 11, and 8 runs scored their last 4 games. It takes some teams a month to score that many runs. Or not a month, like 3 weeks to score that many runs combined. But Eddie Rosario is heating up. He has a lot of power. He has like a 4-hit game and a 3-hit game lately. He had a couple 3-hit games before that, like a week ago. So he's really hot right now. So I like Rosario a bunch. And then I'm going to take a chance and go with like Keon Broxton. So I don't really like picking on Herman Marquez. But Broxton is pretty cheap. Like you get him at only $3,800. Considering the other guys in cores, they're all priced up. Like you have Mancini's like 48. Smith is 46. Wilkerson is, and I guess you could play Wilkerson too. But Broxton, something about him, I just have like a gut feeling that he's going to have a decent game. And we know Marquez has been good. This season. He hasn't been as good as he was last year. But he still gives up some home runs. He's given up like 8 home runs this season. And at home, he's been pretty bad given his standards. I'll show you guys the numbers for him at home this season. So, I think he has like over a 5-run ERA at home, if I remember correctly. Yeah, he has a he's given up a 339 average at home this season and a 500 slugging. And he has a 5.34 ERA, so it's much different than his numbers on the road. So he too has been struggling, and he's been a lot worse to righties this season. 273 average given up and a 381 slugging. And Broxton, he does have some power. He had 20 home runs in 2017 for the Brewers. So, he's pretty cheap. I'll take a chance on him. All I'm really looking for is the guy to get the guy that has power, and all four of these guys have power. And he still have like almost $4,000 left to fill it out. But that's it for the video. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. You can drop a like if you enjoyed, and you can hit the website if you want to get in on the lineups for today or the rest of the season. Thanks for watching, and good luck today.